guys. Tony Romo is on the course right now at the Byron Nelson in Dallas. Romo is even par through 6 holes, but he's still just in 146th place. Yesterday, he shot a 76, which included a chip-in for eagle. Before the tournament started, though, Romo had 10,000 to 1 odds to win, but 46 people actually bet on Tony through Superbook USA, which was the most of any golfer. Shannon, are you surprised by all the attention Romo is getting?
No, 46 people donated to a worthy cause. In Vegas, they call it betting. I call it donating because Tony Romo was not going to win that tournament.
So Vegas is a worthy cause?
To their worthy cause.
Okay. Dangerous cause.
You know what, Skip? No, I'm not surprised. Tony Romo played quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He was a very, very popular quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys and the NFL. He's very good at what he does. Now, I don't hear him broadcast. I don't listen to the sound. But you tell me he's very good at what he does.
He is really good.
And you know what? So, no, I am not surprised.
Yep.
And when we see athletes go out, because remember, Steph Curry tried to make the cut. I think it was on the .com tour, a lower level tour.
Yeah.
Not, it wasn't
Web.com.
Web.com.
They played the last 2 years, their event in the Bay Area.
I remember that.
So I'm not surprised. It is going to garner a lot of attention because when we look at an athlete, we do this all the time. Westbrook would have made a heck of a running back or DB, or this guy would have been a heck of a this or a heck of a that. So we want to see guys branch outside the sport they play and see. But Skip, this is a different animal. My brother's a very avid golfer, plays all the time. And I asked him, I said, man, he's like, bro, it's like the guy at the local blacktop is really, really good. But when he goes up against a pro, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Skip, these guys, Skip. Bubba Watson and Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods, that's all they do. So you think it's just like Bubba Watson can catch a pass, and he might be good for a golfer that's catching passes, but he ain't making no team. Tony Romo might be good by golfing standards for a normal guy that goes out there and plays with his buddies.
Oh, he's really good by those standards. Like, really good.
But when you go play with those guys that do that for guys that do that for a living, they beat the brakes off you.
I'm amazed that right here, right now, as we speak, there are 7 players at a professional golf tournament in Dallas, Texas, that are worse on the scoreboard than Tony Romo is. That's really great. And it's also really, really bad. So here's what just kills me about this. I turn on that tournament because, you know, I'm a golf nut yesterday to watch on the Golf Channel, a tournament that I covered for years in Dallas called the Byron Nelson Classic, and it's now moved to a course that Tony belongs to.
Part of, right?
Called Trinity Forest, and it's a brand new course in South Dallas, and so he's a member there, so he really knows this golf.
You should be familiar with the course.
You got that. And what do I see yesterday as the coverage opens? Guess who the Tiger Woods was yesterday of the Byron Nelson Classic? It wasn't a pro golfer. It was a quote-unquote amateur named Tony Romo. They followed him every shot through the whole day like he was Tiger. He was having the Tiger effect on the Byron Nelson because he's become a much bigger celebrity post-Cowboy playing days than he was as the Cowboy quarterback. Do you realize? For years, I just railed on TV at my quarterback. Remember, he's my starting quarterback for 10 years, Tony Romo. Every year, almost every year, he tried to qualify for the United States Open. It's hard because golf, as you well know, is the most time-consuming sport of all. There's nothing close to how much time you have to put in to practicing your putting and your chipping and your short irons and your long irons and your hybrids and your driver. It's just so much work, and yet he's obsessed with golf, and it killed his football career in my humble opinion.
I agree.
He cared more about golf than he did about football. And now we're seeing on full display, live TV via CBS every Sunday afternoon, his high football IQ. Unfortunately, it wasn't attached to any better judgment on the football field because he would see it and feel it the right way, and he would see it before it happened. And then he'd say, yeah, but I think I'll try this.
Right.
No, don't try that. Don't throw that.
Skip, you would think for someone that could call and diagnose a play, why were you always getting picked? Why would you get hit in your back?
Thank you. That's the whole point. Now he's a star for his football acumen when he never was as a Dallas Cowboy. And it just kills me that he's become such a celebrity because nobody except me really cared about him trying to qualify for the U.S. Open. Now he's become the darling of the golf crowd. And again, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
Steph is a really good player.
Really good. There's a lot of Ray Allen.
But Steph 2 years ago, it's called the Ellie Mae Classic. It's web.com, so it's the minor league compared to this. But Steph went 74-74, and he tied for 148th. But for me to go out there and shoot 74, that's really good, you know?
Yeah, 74 is really good.
Oh, okay, but it's not really good in this context.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The only reason why they're called pros.
Yeah, but Tony, every time I read an interview, he's got this dream in his head like he's going to pull this off. He's going to become a real player.
He's got to focus his attention, his competitiveness somewhere. You mentioned Steph, a good golfer. Well, he's a little busy right now doing something else. Will he lead the Warriors to a win tonight? We'll discuss that next. Here's the latest on the Lakers soap opera. A rally is actually scheduled outside of Staples Center later today to protest Jeannie Buss's decision-making and the amount of influence Kurt and Linda Rambis have had on the team. Now, Yahoo's Vincent Goodwill says Jeannie should sell the franchise, writing, quote, the favored daughter of the late Dr. Jerry Buss seems clueless in how to lead. This is a mess of massive proportions and headed into free agency. It's the worst possible look for a franchise trying to attract star free agents and resemble a model, stable organization. Shannon, have the Lakers hit rock bottom?
Before I answer yes or no, I agree with everything that gentleman wrote. And to answer that question, yes. But here's the thing. No. Because how do I say this? Skip, I'm not so sure it's not going to even get even worse.
Might.
How about that? Because there's a possibility we're about to have the draft order announced, no head coach. And then what free agents want to come into this kind of dysfunction, Skip? She doesn't. And this is what happens when you have people in positions that they're unqualified to hold.
Yep.
This is what you get. Linda and Kurt Rambis should not be involved in this decision making. Rob Pelinka should have never got the job. Jeannie got the job because she's the daughter of the dad that owned the team. And this is where we are. I mean, can you imagine when Dr. Buss was alive, they're having a protest because the organization is being so poorly run? I mean, I don't even know if they had a protest when Jim. That just lets you know I don't even believe they had a protest when Jim was running the team.
I don't remember one.
It's kind of sad.
And so now,
that you say it like
Jeannie's going to bring stability. She's so much better. Really, I can't tell. I see better than I hear. I heard what they told me, Jenny, but I know what I see. Mess. That's what they got going on here, Skip Bayless. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I need to hurry up and get up out of here because I need to make sure I make that trip. I'm headed down to LA. I'm going to be right out there with me a slide.
Are you?
Yep.
You should lead that program.
Yeah, I'm leading it.
Funny.
Yep, with my LeBron jersey on.
Give a
the one I got to take it out the frame. The one he autographed for me. Oh, sorry.
Whoops. Really?
When'd you get that autograph?
I said that out loud.
What's your sign going to say? Like throw Jeannie under the bus or something like that?
What would your sign say?
Yeah.
Jeannie must go.
Jeannie must go.
Yep.
Okay.
It's come to
And
that.
take Linda and Kurt with you.
Jeez.
Okay.
Skip?
It has come to this for LeBron James. He is now playing for a franchise whose fans are staging a protest in the parking lot outside that franchise's famed arena in which championships have been won.
Yes.
How could it come to that even for LeBron? He didn't sign up for this.
No.
I still feel sorry for him. And I feel sorrier for those fans who are protesting because I've been through this before with Jerry Jones in the dry years in Dallas, the dry hole years in Dallas. I've seen it happen with James Dolan, the owner of the New York Knicks.
Sure.
These are all family-held businesses, and the problem is for the fans, they're not government offices. You can't vote Jeannie out of her office.
Correct.
Right? You can't because she owns it. And she still, I'm pretty sure, loves owning it, even though it can be a lot of shame heaped on you. There are going to be some nights when you go to a restaurant when people are going to heckle you or...
Skip, she can't hear that shame with that money counter.
Okay? Which brings me to the bottom line of this. The only way to really drive home your protest, if you're a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, is unfortunately to quit watching and buying the Lakers, right? That's the only way you can really drive it home and have impact, is if enough fans say, we won't watch anymore.
Right.
We will quit buying Laker gear anymore.
Sure.
And over time, we won't go to the games anymore. We won't buy tickets anymore. If the building gets half empty and the TV ratings plunge, trust me, she'll be in trouble. She'll have to sell at some point, because she'll have to admit, I'm losing too much money.
Right.
Is that going to happen? No, it's not going to happen, because these diehard fans, they can't quit watching. They just want it to change. They want Jeannie out. Jeannie is not going anywhere. She went to court to oust all of her brothers.
Right.
That's how she seized control of this franchise. And I think she's having the time of her life.
How about this? How about, Skip? How about we don't want her out? How about we want her out of the way? How about that?
Yeah. Well,
Just get out the way. Why won't you hire someone that's not your friend and not your friend's husband, that's going to make decisions in the best interest? See, they're going to tell Jeannie what she wants to hear, not what Jeannie needs to know. There's the difference between the two. And so most times when people become successful, you don't hire your best friend and put them in a title they're unqualified to have.
Okay.
You hire people that have your best interest at heart.
I got it. For years, Cowboy fans have nearly rioted over Jerry, bring in somebody who knows football to run this franchise. You need to fire yourself from being the GM of this franchise. Right. But I will give Jerry this, and I've always defended him on this count. He did play college football at the highest level. He was on a national championship team as a starter at offensive guard.
1960 Arkansas, right?
64
Arkansas.
Jimmy Johnson on that team, but they were starters for a team that won the national championship by vote. You know, there wasn't, those were the days by vote. But still, he at least did that much. So has he made some bad decisions? Yes. Has he hired a great draft master in Will McClay that sort of changed life inside the franchise?
Because there was a law, Skip. You saw the Jimmy Johnson years, and then you saw when he fired Jimmy and he took over, and now you see the Will McClay years.
Okay.
So you see the vast difference in between.
Although he and Barry Switzer did win a championship together, with obviously a lot of players picked and schooled by Jimmy.
With the exception of Larry Allen, most of the players were Jimmy's left to hold over.
I will give you that. But the problem is, people wanted Jerry out for years, and he's having too much fun.
That's his
Jeannie,
that's how he's known,
Hey,
Skip.
trust me, Jeannie's having too much fun right now, because she's become the primary decision maker with Linda Rambis and Kurt for the Los Angeles Lakers. You don't think that's a rush? You don't think this is the time of her life?
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Skip, Jerry Jones was worth the same amount.
Yep.
And he didn't own the Cowboys. Would anybody know who he was?
Okay, well, that's why he bought the Cowboys. I wrote a whole book about this in 1989. He was making millions in the oil fields. He was striking it rich left and right. And he went to an oil and gas convention in Cabo San Lucas, and he woke up one morning and he just said, my life is just empty. There's no fun here, because you can only make so much money. And he read a little blurb in the San Diego Union Tribune that the Cowboys are for sale, and he called New York from Cabo and said, hey, I hear, they called Salomon Brothers, who are the brokers for the Cowboys sale. I hear the team's for sale. I'm going to buy it. Huh? The guy laughed at him on the phone, but he did. He pulled it off. Okay? So, and his life changed much for the better. You don't think he's had a whole lot more fun owning the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, considering he's spent $130 million to buy it, it's worth $5 billion or $4
Okay, well then that's a whole nother issue. You're making even more money running the Cowboys as they just got.
And we've seen that. Steve Ballmer, the late Paul Allen.
Yeah.
We've seen Stan Kroenke.
Yeah.
We've seen owners, Shad Khan. These guys worth billions. But we wouldn't know who unless you're that top guy, the Bill Gates, the Jeff Bezos, those guys, $100 billion, $90 billion. But you getting when I say small range, you getting that $10 billion to $5 billion.
Nope.
I don't know.
But O'Shea, She ain't got no billion, but they know O'Shea.
Are you buying a team soon or what?
Huh? What kind of team?
I'm just kidding.
All I can afford is a team uniform. I can't afford no team.
Super fan. All right, well, enjoy that rally today, Shannon.
Yeah.
Let us know if your message is well received. Tony Romo, is he on his way to being a two-sport
This is
star? We'll discuss that next.